Okay, let's see who's hot and who's even hotter on quick thinking hurricane knowledge. 5 questions that increase in intensity.
What are we doing?
We're doing Hurricane Hotline. We are doing Hurricane Hotline. I'm going to test your hurricane knowledge.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, you got to be quick. 5 questions that increase in intensity and points. Okay, Category 1 worth 1 point, up to Cat 4 worth 4 points, but Cat 5 is double, worth 10 points. So if your opponent shears you apart in the first 4 rounds, you have a chance for rapid intensification at the end. Okay? Now, as I ask each question, as I start, you can pick up the phone at any time, but if you answer it by talking into the hotline, that's the only way I'm going to hear the answer. And you're wrong, the opponent gets the points. If you pick up the phone, it's too late. You got to answer. Are you ready for question number 1? Let's see who's hotter. Question number 1, true or false? One of the best ways to protect your windows for a hurricane is to cover them
False.
with tape. That's correct, Mike.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shutters and really make it good.
I had a pitchy shot.
I was like, oh, God.
Question number 2.
Oh, you're lucky.
Question number 2. How many days do you have to wait to put into effect
30.
an insurance policy for flood? That's correct.
I think he broke into Dr. Knapp's computer.
Okay, question number 3. The World Wide Web was born in this year, the same year the U.S. was hit by Hurricane Hugo.
Oh, I think I know it.
1989?
That is correct.
I was like, please get it wrong.
I was going
3 for better.
or sometime in there.
Okay, question number 4. Question number 4. The maximum sustained winds must be at least this strong in miles per hour for a hurricane to be designated a Category 4.
130?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes! Oh, look, everybody's cheering for me. They're like, oh, don't let her just get wrecked.
Bettis has 6. Wilson has 4. This will be the deciding question.
Oh, boy.
Category 5, we're 10 points. Using the correct pronunciation, worthy of a local.
Worthy of a local?
I'll see you guys on Monday.
What is the capital city of the state affected last year by Hurricane Lane?
Oh, my gosh.
Honolulu.
Incorrect. It's Honolulu.
Could I answer?
H-O-N-O.
Win by default. I would like to say Honolulu.
We battled that when I lived in Hawaii. The locals said you can tell if you're not a local if you say Honolulu. It's Honolulu.
It's okay. I feel like this is a dirty win.
Wilson, 14.
Can I phone a friend?
6.
Humo, humo, nuku, nuku, apua.
I'll give you 1 bonus point. 7.
I know that one.
Alex, you're hotter tonight.
Thank you. Again, I feel like it was, you clearly don't want me in Game 7. I'm not quick on the draw. No, I'm
when it counted,
I came through in the clutch.
although
But I need time. I'm a slow burn.
I lost, you didn't win.
Yes.
Thank you for playing. Great job, guys. Great job.
That's Weather Underground. For all of us, you all lost, and none of us won. Have a great night and a great weekend.
Remember, together, we know more. Phone some friends.
Who is on that line?
Honolulu.
Honolulu.
Is it? All right, folks, it is Friday. It's time for Hurricane Hotline, where we see who's hot and who's hotter when it comes to quick thinking hurricane knowledge. Our one and only hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp, going to be asking the questions. And if you missed last week's play, here's how things went down. What are we doing?
We're doing Hurricane Hotline. True or false?
False.
That's correct, Mike.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shutters and really make it good.
Question number 2. How many days
30.
an insurance policy for flood? That's correct.
Oh, I think I know it.
1989?
That is correct.
I was like, please get it wrong.
A Category 4.
130?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes!
What is the capital city of the state affected last year by Hurricane Lane?
Oh, my gosh.
Honolulu.
Incorrect. It's Honolulu.
Could I answer?
H-O-N-O.
Win by default. I would like to say
Oh, once again, it is time for Hurricane Hotline. 5 brand new questions that increase in intensity and points. Here on the chalkboard, you can see it. Category 1 question worth 1 point, all the way up to Category 4 question worth 4. Cat 5 is worth double. That's worth 10 points. Now, the cool thing about this game is that even if you are sheared apart by your opponent in the first 4 rounds because of double score in Cat 5, you can rapidly intensify and make a comeback. Now, Mike, Alex, our contestants, once again, reminder that once I start asking each question, as soon as I start asking it, you can pick up the phone and answer it. But once you pick up the phone, it's too late. You got to answer. If you are incorrect, your opponent gets the points. Now, if you are arguing over it and tussling over the phone, I'll let a little bit of tug of war occur. But if it comes to fisticuffs, I will have to separate you.
I'm not bitter at all about last week's loss either, losing on a technicality.
Time for redemption, Mike.
Lost, right?
Let's start with Category 1. How many hours in advance does the National Weather Service issue a hurricane watch?
72?
Incorrect. A watch is issued at 48 hours. But
I just gave you a point. You're welcome.
1 point for Bettis.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Category 2 question. Not every community has one. For some that do, it's not strong. What do we call the minimum legal requirement for how you construct a home?
Building code?
That is correct, Mr. Bettis.
Why am I so nervous?
I don't know. This is all very stressful.
Category 3.
I should do my name
Very
right now.
straightforward question.
What are your names? Both of us have been answering this phone.
Steve?
You guys are doing great. Category 3. The central pressure of Category 5 Michael was 919 millibars at landfall. That was the 3rd lowest on record for the U.S. It took the place of what Gulf hurricane? A Cat 3 landfall with 920 millibars in Louisiana in 2005.
Katrina?
Katrina is correct.
I was like, wait, now it all seems too obvious.
I got to give you your own color here.
Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
It's 3-3. Hurricane Hotline's getting hotter.
Oh, it is. Oh, I'm sweating.
Category 4 question. For the National Weather Service storm surge warning, flooding above normally dry ground is considered life-threatening when it is how many feet high? 2, 3, or 4?
Oh. Do it. 3.
3 is correct.
Total guess.
No, that was good.
I had a 1 in 3. You had a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah, you did.
All right, Bettis has 7. Wilson has 3, but once again,
It's possible.
the Category 5 question will decide the game. This is a good one.
Okay.
How many manned aircraft used for hurricane penetrations and surveillance are in the fleet for NOAA and the Air Force combined, realizing that NOAA has the 1G4, the 2 P3s, and the Air Force has WC-130s. And they have 10 of them.
No! It's 13. It's 13.
That's correct.
I just went on brute force.
Wilson strong arms her way to a 13-7 victory. Wow, what a battle.
You gave the answer.
Yeah, you did, and I listened.
See, that's how it works. If nobody's answering, I keep giving more clues. We get an answer. We get a correct answer every time, no matter what.
That was for pushing me last week. And he did say a little tussle was okay.
He did. I can't.
Oh, man.
But see, look
All
how
of
much
America would
everybody
think I
learned
was
tonight.
an abusive co-anchor.
It is true, but you know what?
Next time, you're mine.
This is going to be a whole season.
13 total planes, then.
Yes, 10 C-130s in the Air Force, 2 NOAA P-3s, and the NOAA G4 jet.
What about the drones?
Those are not manned
Unmanned.
aircraft. Yes, those are unmanned.
I feel like the important number in all of this, though, is that I have 2 victories, and Mike Bettis has no victories.
I don't know how important that is, really.
I feel like that's very important. I feel like.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for hosting.
It's actually a lot of
Hope you all
fun.
learned
This is a fun
It's a lot of fun. Truly.
I'm sorry I hurt your finger.
I think I'm going to survive. For all of us here at Weather Ground, thank you for watching tonight.
Have a great night, and remember, together we know more. See ya.
Well, let's see who's hot and who's even hotter on Quick Thinking Hurricane Knowledge. It's once again time for Hurricane Hotline. Mark and Alex, you're going to be answering 5 questions that increase in intensity and points. Cat 1 worth 1 point, up to Cat 4 worth 4. But Cat 5 is double, worth 10 points. So if you get sheared apart by your opponent in the first few rounds, you still have a chance to rapidly intensify. Now remember, guys, as soon as I start asking the question, if you want to do it with limited information, you have the option to pick up the phone, but if you're wrong or you don't answer, your opponent gets the points. I'm going to
do that. You have to answer.
I'm going to get an answer for every question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Category number 1, we always tell people to shop for supplies before the season so they don't run out. For each person in your home, for each day, for 7 days, you need to get
A gallon of water.
Water is correct. 1 point for Mark.
Yes. I'm not going to get the goose egg. That's all that matters. I can get them all wrong from here.
Category 2 question. This was a long-lived hurricane, one of the strongest and costliest on record in the Atlantic. 5th costliest U.S. hurricane. It made 7 landfalls, 4 of them as a Cat 5 across the Caribbean. Irma made landfall in the Florida Keys.
Matthew.
We were looking for category 4 for what Irma made landfall in the Florida Keys.
I was so far. I didn't get the question.
I know it happens. That's why you know.
He got excited, got a little ahead of himself. Category 3 question. Alex and I shot a public service announcement, no code, no confidence, to urge people to find out if their community has a strong building code. Now, even Florida, unfortunately, recently decided to review their codes less often, but at least their codes were strengthened after which hurricane in South Florida?
Andrew.
In 1992, that's correct.
You were on the shoot. How did you not get that?
I was waiting to hear what the question is.
All right, Mark 4, Alex 2. Many points are left. Category 4 question. Now including Arkansas after Barry, 5 states have set tropical cyclone rainfall records since 2017. Also, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Hawaii. But what about Florida? They have the highest record not recently broken. 45.2 inches fell there in which hurricane in 1950? Now, you might think this question is too hard, but in reality,
Easy.
it's easy. The hurricane's name was easy.
Yes!
They used a military phonetic alphabet.
Yeah!
Alex 6, Mark 4. As has always been the case,
Oh, boy.
the game will be decided by the Category 5 question. Not every El Nino episode is the same. This year's El Nino is not as strong as the most recent one before it, when the Atlantic had a slightly below average year. But that year, one of the hurricanes was a Cat 4 that sunk a cargo ship. The ship was named El Faro. The hurricane was named Joaquin in October of what year?
You can do it?
2016?
One
needed one
off.
more.
It was 2015.
No! Oh my
10
God.
points for Mark. Mark Elliott, 14. Alex Wilson, a touchdown without the extra point, 6. Oh, so close,
was it,
Alex.
2015?
It was 2015.
I was not going to guess that. I'm glad you answered the phone.
I really felt
Congratulations
good about
for a
2016.
well-fought game, guys.
Names and dates are not my
Nailed it.
forte.
Well, clearly not mine either. For all of us here at Weather Underground, thank you for watching.
Have a great night. Remember, together we know more. Have a good weekend, everybody.
For the time being, not much chance of development. Well, it's just about time for another edition of Hurricane Hotline, but first, let's look back at the last battle. Oh, once again, it is time for Hurricane Hotline. Category 1. How many hours?
72?
Incorrect. Not every community has one.
Building code?
That is correct, Mr. Bettis.
Why am I so nervous?
Category 3. The central pressure of Category 5 Michael
Katrina.
Katrina is correct. Hurricane Hotline's getting hotter.
Oh, it is. So I'm sweating.
For the National Weather Service storm surge warning.
Do it. 3.
3 is correct.
Total guess.
This is a good one.
Okay.
How many manned aircraft NOAA has? The 1G4, the 2 P3s, and the Air Force has WC-130s. 10 of them.
No. 13. It's 13.
That's correct.
I just went on brute force.
Wilson strong arms her way to a 13-7 victory. Wow, what a battle.
He did say a little tussle was okay.
He did.
You didn't want to punch me.
So here we go. 5 questions that increase in intensity and points. Cat 1 worth 1 all the way up to Cat 4 worth 4. Cat 5 worth double 10 points. And again, you can answer as soon as you like, but if you're wrong, your opponent gets the points. Category 1 question, here we go. The only way to ensure you survive a hurricane storm surge is to not be there when it happens. So we urge people to find out if they live in what?
Evacuation.
Evacuation zone is correct for Mr. Bettis. 1-0. Category 2. No matter what the seasonal forecasts tell you, it can be a bad year for you with just one storm, even in a below average year, like 1983. Total in the Atlantic that year, 4 named storms, 3 hurricanes, just 1 major hurricane, Alicia, that struck what major metro area? In Texas.
Houston, Galveston.
Houston is correct.
Oh, that was like... I was like, it's going to
There's only one major metro on the coast, so.
Category 3, state tropical rainfall records have been falling in many states. Last week we talked about Florida with Hurricane Easy. What is the name of the hurricane that made landfall in the Gulf, then set another long-standing state tropical cyclone rainfall record, 27 inches, in Virginia in 1969?
Camille.
Camille is correct. It's 3-3. Hurricane Hotline again getting hotter. Category 4, the 1935 Florida Keys hurricane, lowest pressure on U.S. record. What is the lowest pressure?
Oh, no. 892 millibars.
That's correct for the 35 hurricane, but it's not the lowest pressure overall, which was Hurricane Wilma in 2005, which is what we were looking for, 882. Okay, Category 5, it'll decide the game. 7-3, Alex. There have been 4 U.S. landfalling Cat 5s on record, but also since the 1930s, 10 additional Cat 4s have made landfall in the continental United States. What are the names of the 2 most recent ones?
Cat 4s?
Yeah. 2017, consecutive letters in the alphabet,
Oh, God.
H and I in 2017.
Harvey and Irma.
Yes, that's correct. 17-3, Alex Wilson. She continues to dominate.
Yeah, joke's going to be on Carl tonight because we're going to indoctrinate him to Hurricane Hotline.
So here we go.
I got my first win last week. I'm feeling
5
confident.
questions that increase in intensity and points. Cat 1 is worth 1, all the way up to Cat 4 that's worth 4. But Cat 5 is worth double. It's worth 10 points. So, Carl and Mike, if you get sheared apart by your opponent in the first 4 rounds, in the 5th round, you have an opportunity to rapidly intensify. Now remember, as I start asking the question, you can pick it up at any time, but if you answer too early and you're wrong, your opponent gets the points. And as I have told Mike and Alex when they play this game, if you are tussling over the phone, I will allow a certain amount of fisticuffs and wrestling, and with a man cave version of Hurricane Hotline, a little tackling might actually be allowed.
Jiu-jitsu, then? Would be okay.
Whatever you want to bring
it
to
all
the
above the
table,
belt,
okay? Now, because it's the man cave version of Hurricane Hotline, all of these questions have a little bit of a sports theme to them, okay? And the first question, the Category 1 question, has to do with baseball, okay? As a home run ball leaves the park, the outfielder runs after it on turf that is grassy until he reaches the warning track that is also the hurricane that caused storm surge in New York City in 2012.
Sandy.
A warning track is Sandy. Yes, Mike. 1 point.
Sandy.
I always start out
Grassy,
strong like this.
sandy.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm bound to fail.
Think of that as
All right,
dirt.
question number 2. Category 2 question has to do with lacrosse. The National Weather Service office in La Crosse, Wisconsin, maintains a webpage documenting flood fatalities in the United States. Even with most of the hurricane season still to come, they say 78 people have already died in U.S. floods this year, with 51 of them, about 65%, dying in a flood while doing what?
Driving.
Driving is correct, Mr. Bettis.
I'm leaving.
Carl, there's
You're giving me hope here,
17
Carl.
points left on the field here. All right, category 3 question has to do with football. Okay? The 50-yard line is halfway between the goal lines, right, guys? When a tropical wave is at about midfield of the Atlantic Basin, halfway between Africa and the Cabo Verde Islands and the continental U.S., the first land areas that the tropical waves usually cross are a group of small countries collectively called...
Lesser Antilles.
Very nicely done, Carl Parker.
All right.
Does it count if you don't hold it to your ear?
Well, he had complete hold of the phone, so he yelled. I could hear him. Okay. Category 4 question. Hurricane Hotline's heating up. It's 3-3. Basketball themed question. A tropical cyclone is a warm core, non-frontal, synoptic scale cyclone originating over tropical or subtropical waters with organized deep thunderstorms and a closed surface wind circulation about a well-defined what? It's also a position in basketball.
Center.
Center.
You gotta have the phone. Mike got the phone. 4 point. Now,
I
Carl.
feel good about that one because Carl loves basketball too. I got him in his own game.
All right, now, Mike Bettis has 7 points. Carl has 3.
nervous.
But this last question, category 5 question, is worth 10 points. So this will decide the game. All right, here we go. This question is soccer themed. Okay? Football, as it's known around the world, uses different terms for the same things that we see in American football. It's not a field, it's a pitch, right? It's not a team, it's a side. It's not 1-0, it's 1-0, right? Now, there are differences between us and the rest of the world in tropical weather, too. In the Western Pacific, it's not a hurricane, it's a typhoon. And in Australia, it's not a hurricane, it's a...
Oh, cyclone.
You gotta get the...
Tropical cyclone! Tropical cyclone!
Incorrect, Mr. Bettis. In Australia, a hurricane equivalent is a severe tropical cyclone.
Oh.
And because of that, Carl Parker gets 10 points and wins 13-7.
Take me this phone, I'm going home. I always lose on a technicality.
But tropical cyclone is the broad term, and when it becomes hurricane strength in Australia, they say it is a severe tropical cyclone. There is a difference. That's why it's a Cat 5 question. It's not easy, Mike.
Why do you do this to me now? You torture me every time. Every time.
And Carl's going, no, I like this game. I'll just not answer.
I should have let go of the phone. Would you have said that?
No, I was thinking cyclone. I was thinking, like Indian Ocean.
I need to learn from my mistakes. I'm just not answering any more Cat questions. Just flat out, just not answering them anymore. So that was fun, though. Thanks for being
Yeah, it
here.
was fun.
I actually think I'm going to bleed on a knuckle here, though.
Are you really? Sorry about that.
Check out this.
And you guys played rougher than any of the Hurricane Hotline games we've had so far. Man Cave version of Hurricane Hotline is
It's like full
rough.
contact.
It's a full contact sport. Oh, my goodness.
That was a ton of fun. Hopefully you learned something, folks. But for all of us here at Weather Underground, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great weekend. Remember, together, we know more. Who has a red phone anymore, by the way?
Only we do. It's a unique thing about Hurricane Hotline. The only red phone on television.
Flag, not a